So picture this, a football betting system with a pretty wild claim, a 91% win rate, and you don't have to do a single minute of research. It's called the Bumper Coupon Football System, and it's pitched as a smart shortcut to making a profit. But really, can a simple formula deliver results like that? Well, we're about to break down exactly how it says it works.
And that's the core promise, right there, straight from the guy who created it, a fella known as Betfair. That question, it really hits on a huge frustration for a lot of people, right? The endless hours you spend looking at stats, analyzing teams. This system's whole pitch is basically, forget all that. Just follow what it calls the informed money.
All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to dig into that bold 91% promise. Then we'll unpack the system's 3 golden rules. After that, we'll look at how it handles the money. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
Okay, so what problem is this system actually trying to solve? At its heart, it's all about creating a shortcut, a way to bypass the usual grind. The whole idea is to completely ignore team form, who's injured, all that stuff, and instead just hunt for very specific signals inside the betting market itself. And there it is, the number that started it all. According to the creator, this isn't just some made-up marketing number. He claims that when he first started testing this, he hit 27 winners out of his first 30 bets. That's a 90% strike rate, which he then rounded up to give the system its name.
And this is a really important distinction to make. The system isn't trying to predict football games. It's about spotting patterns on one website, oddschecker.com. The entire philosophy is built on the belief that certain odds show you where the smart, informed money is going. Your job is just to find those signals and, well, ride the wave.
So, the big question is, how do you actually find these signals? Well, the system boils everything down to 3 simple, non-negotiable rules. This has nothing to do with gut feelings or intuition. It's all about applying a strict numerical filter to find very, very specific kinds of matches.
These are the 3 pillars of the whole thing. First, you look on the odds checker bumper coupon for a clear favorite, a team with odds between 1.5 and 1.75. Second, the odds for a draw have to be unusually high. We're talking over 3.6. That suggests the market thinks a draw is really unlikely. And third, here's the secret sauce. The gap in the odds between the favorite and the underdog has to be at least 3.3. That's supposed to signal massive market confidence in one team.
This 3.3 number, this is framed as the single most important filter in the entire system. It's the secret sauce that's supposed to separate just any old bet from one where the so-called informed money has created a huge consensus. A gap this big is meant to be the clearest signal you're ever going to find.
Okay, let's make this super clear with an example. Let's say you see a favorite with odds of 1.5 and the underdog is way out at 5.0. All you do is subtract the smaller number from the bigger one. So 5.0 minus 1.5 gives you 3.5. And since 3.5 is bigger than that 3.3 magic number, bingo, this match qualifies as a bet. Simple as that.
And this is where the system demands some serious discipline. The creator makes it crystal clear, if you go through the list and not a single game meets all 3 of those rules, especially that 3.3 gap, then the rule is to do absolutely nothing. You just walk away for the day. The whole strategy is built on patience and only taking what the system says is a top-tier opportunity.
Right, and 91% win rate sounds amazing, but what about the other 9% of the time? I mean, a bet is going to lose eventually. This is where the money management part comes in. The system has a specific safety net built in for when that happens.
It recommends something called the Fibonacci staking plan. So, you'd start with a 100-point bankroll and bet just 1 point. If you lose, your next bet follows the Fibonacci sequence. 1, then 2, then 3, then 5, and so on. The theory is, because the odds are always over 1.5, just one win should recover your previous losses and even give you a little profit. And crucially, after any win, or in the rare case of a 6th loss in a row, you reset right back to 1. That's how you protect your bankroll.
So we've got the rules for picking the bets and the plan for staking the money. But if you're going to apply this in the real world, there are a few more really important bits of advice and context to consider.
One of the biggest pieces of advice is to stay away from traditional bookmakers. Why? Well, think about it. Their business model is built on people losing. If you start winning consistently, you'll often find your account gets limited or even shut down. The system strongly recommends using betting exchanges like Betfair. Their model is totally different. They just take a small commission on all bets, so they actually want winners and high-volume players.
And just a couple of other things to be aware of here.
The creator also promotes 2 other systems, so you might see those mentioned. But more importantly, there's a practical heads up. Some people have pointed out that the odds checker website has changed over the years, and that could make finding that specific bumper coupon a bit tricky.
In this quote, this really brings us right back to the system's most powerful claim. The idea that this isn't just some fun hobby, but it could actually be an income stream. But, and this is a huge but, only if you follow the plan with absolute, unwavering robotic discipline.
So this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. Is the real secret here in the specific numbers, the 1.75, the 3.6, the 3.3, or is the system actually about something much more fundamental, the simple act of picking a logical set of rules and then having the ironclad discipline to stick with them no matter what? Something to chew on.